Hello kittens, Silver here, and today I'm going to be doing a quick video of my Christmas haul from this year, although I don't know if it's really going to be that quick because I was really spoiled with Plush this year beyond what I even anticipated, so we'll try to get through this as quickly as possible, but let's get things started off. So first up, we have the Consummate Christmas plush. This is Fery the Fawn, the supersized version or the super soft version, either way you want to slice it. This is the largest size of Fery that is available. There are two other sizes, a small and a medium. This one I happened to see in an independent toy store when I was with my mom actually, and I did not think that she was going to pick one up for me, but that's exactly what ended up happening. She was waiting for me on Christmas Day, and I could not be any happier about that. She is the most precious deer plush that I have ever seen. She has these adorable little rosy cheeks. You can see the little pink blush on either side, and she also has that pink airbrushing on the inside of her ears. And I think her fur just strikes that perfect balance between plush softness and naturalism. It feels absolutely amazing to touch. She has some beans in her backside to help keep her in the seated position, and she also has some in her front hooves. Those hooves are made from a nice little minky material. She's got these big brown amber eyes and these cute little eyelash details that they sort of airbrushed on there. And she's got a flocked sort of hard velvet nose, cute little antlers, little stubs, little nubs. And I'll give you a quick look at her hang tag as well. So there you go. Fery Fawn Super Soft. So that was the first one. Next up, this one was a real curveball. This is Delia, the Fur Fuzzles Owl. Again, another plush that I never would have thought I would have owned at some point. In fact, I've never owned any owl plush or any bird plush, I don't think, for that matter. So this one is definitely just a novelty in every sense of the word, and I absolutely love her so much. You would think maybe from the look of this fur that it might be kind of a strange texture. It is not. It is extremely soft. It's so fun to just kind of like bop her head along and see those little quills sway, because they really do look like bird quills, the way they're sort of striped that way, like a bird's plumage. It's absolutely incredible. She has these sparkly blue eyes, as you can see here, and the material on her face here is a super soft minky. She's got this cute little beak and these little feetsies right here, and she is weighted in her bottom. Right at the at the bottom end so that she can stand upright. Sometimes she takes a little work to balance her sometimes, but for the most part she stays upright pretty well. So I'll show you her tag as well. She was new, so that was definitely a nice bonus. So that's Delia. And here's a nice plush that sort of dovetails with Delia. She's kind of got that same sort of fabric, but just with an orange base. This is Lizzy Llama, and she's also part of the Fur Fuzzles collection. I'll show you her tag as well. She was also new. I also really love these tags. It's got this sort of really nice pastel coloring. So there you go. That's Lizzy Llama Fur Fuzzle. And again, there were a lot of firsts for me this Christmas. I've never owned a llama plush. I never had any designs on owning a llama plush before, but how can you say no to this one? This one is so adorable. I remember seeing pictures of this one on eBay before and just loving the colors of the coat. I am always a sucker for a ginger. And she also has this really neat holographic silver material on the insides of her ears. Her hooves also feature that same material, and it's actually even in her nostrils, believe it or not. And you can even sort of put your finger in them, but I don't think she would take kindly to that, but she does have that sort of special feature there. And like many of the Fur Fuzzle plushies, she has these eyelashes here, these very long, beautifully curled eyelashes. And her eyes themselves are actually just a solid black color, I believe. Nice off-white coloring on her face, super soft minky, and really, really soft all around. Again, it's such an unusual fabric, something that I've never seen before, but it really is extremely soft. And she is incredibly floppy as well. Her front two legs kind of stand sort of straight forward. They are floppy, but they just kind of stay in that position for the most part, but she's still extremely floppy. And she's got this really nice white woolly material on her forelegs. So that is Lizzy. Next up, we have the wild child of the group. This is another llama, not just a llama, mind you, but a llama corn, as you can see by the inclusion of this unicorn horn on her forehead there. So this one is called Lollipop Llama, and the first thing you probably think of when you see her is piñata. That's what everybody says. These colors are so vibrant, they may just give you eye strain. I absolutely love it. She's just so silly and quirky and fun and completely unlike anything I've ever seen before. Though I do believe Douglas has actually made other plush using this exact same rainbow material. I think there was also an owl and I want to say a hedgehog. So this one actually doesn't have her hang tag, but she's still just like new. You can see she has that holographic fabric on her hooves as well in this sort of pink or almost maybe a rose red color. And she also has that fabulous eyelash detail. Once again, very nicely curled. And she's got a nice little threaded nose and a smile with a sort of white minky material for her muzzle here. Her legs are extremely floppy. Getting her to sit upright is a challenge, let me tell you. She's also very sort of top heavy because she's got such a long neck. So she has a tendency to want to just kind of, fall over to one side or the other. So you kind of have to do a little balancing act with her, but I think she is absolutely adorable. Super, super unique. So now we're going to kind of go from the llama corn to what the next obvious sort of step is. So I'll show you who's coming next. And so the natural progression from a rainbow llama corn is a rainbow unicorn. So this one is called Riona, and this one is just absolutely remarkable. Definitely a huge favorite. Her coloring is just so, so amazing. We have just every color of the rainbow in these beautiful fluorescent colors. We get the pink, orange, yellow, blue, green, and purple. And she has this really nice sort of iridescence in her mane. Hopefully you can see it. See that sort of, that little shimmer to it, sort of like tinsel. And she's got these really pretty pink glittery eyes and a silver holographic horn. I also really love the fact that they did the bottoms of her feet in pink. Nice soft minky. A really pretty braid in a sort of magenta and white color, and it's got some silver threading throughout that. So I'll show you her hang tag as well. That's Riona Unicorn. She's also part of the Rainbow Fuzzle line, which probably comes as a little surprise given her coloring. She's one of the smaller unicorns, but I think she's just the perfect size. Highly recommend her. And in keeping with the unicorn theme, we have Anita Unicorn. And oh boy, did I need a unicorn in my life, let me tell you. So this one, I think they say measures about 20 inches, but it seems a little smaller than that. Compared to some of the other unicorns that are coming up, she actually was surprisingly smaller, but her fur is definitely the softest out of any of the plush unicorns that I've gotten so far. It feels absolutely amazing. The only thing is this one had a really, really floppy neck when I first opened her, so I actually did end up adding some stuffing to her neck just so her head wasn't lolling over to one side. But it's this beautiful combination of this sort of bubblegum pink, sky blue, and this white or off-white color. She has that same sort of mane and tail hair that Riona did. It's white with that bit of iridescence to it. You can kind of see that tinsel through there a little bit. I absolutely love this fabric that they used for her horn. It's like a rainbow pastel, sparkly holographic horn. Super pretty. I would have really loved to see that on her hooves, but they're just sort of like a light lavender or mauve colored hoof, I think. And she has brown eyes actually, which is kind of surprising to me. I would have thought that they would have stuck with the lighter, more sparkly eyes. Some of you know that I have done plush modifications before where I've swapped out eyes, but don't think I want to go that route with this one. She's extremely floppy, and like I said, super soft. She feels almost like she's part of the Douglas Soft collection or a deluxe. She isn't, but you would almost swear that she was. So there is her hang tag there. So that is Anita. Next up, we have Zorri. This is the Fur Fuzzles unicorn, and she kind of makes Anita seem pretty tame by comparison. I absolutely love this plush so much. She is absolutely exquisite in every sense of the word. I mean, Fluffy plus Unicorn is just the recipe for magic right there. She has this beautiful white fur with this sort of like almost like a cherry blossom pink tip to it, or maybe sort of like a bubble gum, kind of like Anita did. There's her tag here, perfectly coordinated with just her overall aesthetic. And she has this nice silver holographic material just on the tops of her hooves, and this really soft baby pink underneath, chock full of beans. She's supremely floppy, kind of like we saw with the rainbow llama corn. Super floppy legs, almost no stuffing in them whatsoever. She has, again, that eyelash detail, and she actually does have sparkly pink eyes, but it's a little hard to see just because her eyelashes kind of hang very low, or sit very low on her eyes. It's probably, yeah, this is probably not the best light to show it in. But she also has a sort of silver metallic unicorn horn, that nice silver threading through it. Little pink tuft of hair here. And she's got those cute little pink rosy cheeks on either side, which you could probably just make out. The fur on her face is extremely soft, and she also has these really beautiful pastel sequins on her forehead here, which they're kind of reversible, but you really want to keep them in this direction. If you roll them the opposite way, they kind of become silver, but I think it looks better with that rainbow coloration. So that is Zorri. Next up, we have Zorri's bestie. This is Veta the Unicorn, also part of the Fur Fuzzles collection, as you can probably tell. This one has more of a wispy mane to her, and she has that iridescence in it, much like some of the other unicorns did, but it's more of a light pink material as opposed to white, and there's also some purple interspersed in the pink, and the same goes for the tail. And again, you can really get a good view of that sort of tinsel there. She's got the rest of her fur sort of aqua at the base, and then it's tipped in this purple color, which is absolutely beautiful. If you saw my video of my fur fuzzle platypus, you'll know that she features exactly the same fur as Coco the platypus. And this one also has those reversible sequins both on her hooves and on her forehead. This one they sort of gave a bigger eye to, so you can get a much better sense of the color of the eyes on this one. They're those blue sparkly numbers right there. And I think her eyelashes are even more elegant than Zorri's. She's also a little bit more structured than Zorri. She is extremely floppy like her, but for some reason she sits up much more easily on her own. And she's got a different material on her face. Zorri had sort of like a kind of more of a fuzzy material. This one is just very, very smooth, but it feels really nice. And she has little nostrils just embroidered on the end of her snout here. This one was a gift from my brother, and she's definitely a favorite for sure. So he actually got her brand new as well, which is always a huge bonus. So there we go. There's Veta Unicorn Rainbow Fuzzle. And if that weren't enough unicorn goodness, we have one more. This is the only one that is not a Douglas unicorn. This is actually Gans. It says hug me right there on the tag, which I immediately complied with that order. So this one is called Majestic or Majestique. It's sort of like the French spelling of it. I think there actually is another unicorn by Gans just called Majestic, like the regular spelling, but it's just like a pink, blue, and white one, sort of like Anita, but this one features all the pastel colors of the rainbow, and she's got this really cool textured fur, which feels really nice. I'm not going to say it's the same, level of quality or softness as Douglas, but it does feel really nice. I did notice that when you sort of brush it in the opposite direction, you can kind of see the backing of the fur, which, cheaper materials tend to do that, but I am not complaining because the colors are just so beautiful. I really love the fact that this one has these sort of pink little blush marks on either side. That was just sort of a random thing because, everyone is going to be different depending on how the fabric was cut. But I think that this one came out so, so beautifully. She has the beautiful holographic fabric that we saw in some of the others in a beautiful pink color. We got this white banding around her unicorn horn. The insides of her ears also have that fabric, that holographic glitter to it. And she's got sort of like a short little, sort of round tail here at the end. Just sort of like a little ball of fluff. And I'll show you her seam tag here. Get your hands on the gans. This one is a good size too. I would say this one's probably between 16 to 18 inches. Good level of floppiness as well. And this one has a set of blue eyes. They don't sparkle, but they're a very nice shade of blue despite that. So that was my last unicorn. Next up, we have Livy, the soft rainbow bunny. And oh my goodness, just when you think you felt the softest thing imaginable, Livy comes along and just completely turns your world upside down. She is so incredibly soft. There is just absolutely no way to describe it. You just have to feel it for yourself. She is part of the Douglas Softy collection, which kind of explains it, but still, just everything about her just emanates preciousness and bliss. That's the only way I know how to describe it. So here is her hang tag. This is the medium version. She also comes in a small and large version. And if you'll notice, even her little cottontail is rainbow colored. You got these sort of bands of pink, blue, and purple. So adorable. I am completely in love. My obsession with bunnies has reached peak level right now. She has this really cute little pink velvet flocked nose, which I think all of the bunnies from this particular collection do. Nice amber brown eyes. And I think this one is probably, I want to say maybe 8 to 9 inches, maybe 10 inches standing. Not quite as big lengthwise as some of the larger sizes, but still such a perfect size. She is just tactile bliss. I've used that word before, but it so applies to this one. And last but certainly not least, to those of you who think perfection doesn't exist, I present to you this bunny. This is Sweetie, the super soft bunny. Oh my goodness. There are no words to describe just how perfect this plush is. I was so completely blown away by her. This one is the largest size out of the Sweeties. Right now there's only a mini Sweetie. I think in the spring they're going to come out with a medium-sized version, but this is the large one, and I'm telling you, I recommend this plush to absolutely everybody, no matter who you are, if you're a collector, whether you are into bunnies or not. This one is just absolute, just the pinnacle of any kind of plush. She is so perfect. She's got this beautiful tie-dye pastel rainbow coloring to her fur. And she features that exact same material that Livy, the previous bunny, had. It is it is too soft to be believed. It is incredibly super premium. She's so huggable. She's got some great weight to her. She's weighted in her backside and in her front paws, I believe. Oh, maybe not. There must be some beans in there, but there's definitely beans in her bottom. The insides of her ears are, again, super velvety soft. Big brown eyes, that pink nose. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how much I adore this plush. I cannot recommend her highly enough. She's just absolutely everything. I cannot get enough of her. So that was my entire Christmas haul this year. I would attempt to put them all out, on the desk here, but I don't think that they're going to fit. But let's give it the good old college try anyway. Let's see how this goes. So when there's a will, there's a way, as the saying goes. After some careful stacking, I got them all assembled in one spot. So this was my entire Christmas haul for this year. This was such a fun Christmas for me. I really enjoyed opening these and sharing them with all of you guys. And I hope that everybody really enjoyed their Christmas too. Please tell me about the plush that you got this year if you'd like to. If you have any comments about the ones that I received, I would love to hear them. And I will be back again soon with some more plush goodness for you. Bye, everybody.